we want to hit that target of 1.5 degrees, which many here have worried is slipping out of reach, we would not be investing in new fossil fuel supply. The problem is we would need to invest in clean energy at a rate so significantly higher than what we're doing now.
Much double. We're at 2.
Well,
we're going.
I mean, according to FATI, it's roughly 1 to 1.5 is the ratio of fossil fuel to clean.
Yeah.
We need to change that to 1 to 9.
Wow.
And so that requires a staggering increase in clean energy investments, supply chains, all the things that go along with that, permitting. And if we don't do that, we're underinvesting. That's what we're doing today. We're underinvesting in energy across the board. We're underinvesting in oil and gas relative to the current outlook for oil and gas. And then we're underinvesting in clean energy at the rate that would be needed to change that outlook for oil and gas and get on track with our climate goals. So what happens when you underinvest? You have tight markets, you have higher prices, the influence that or the leverage that Putin has to use gas as a weapon, or the need for OPEC to balance markets goes up, not down. Their geopolitical influence can increase.
Yeah, let's spend a bit more time on that, because as Steve said, I wanted to bring energy security front and centre. And 2022 was a wake-up call for a lot of people, but particularly for the Europeans, about how they've depended on Russian energy for so many years, and they've had to work very hard to find ways around the problem. From what you're seeing at the moment, how successful is Europe being at reconnecting its energy supply story?
I think Europe's doing a really good job accelerating the alternatives to Russian gas. They built up stocks and inventories. They got lucky with some relatively warm weather, so be in a better position than we had thought. But this is still a multi-year energy crisis, dramatically accelerating the pace of investment in alternatives. So I think we are being reminded now that many of the things you would do to deliver energy security, create more electrify more of your economy, create more energy at home, reduce your dependence on globally traded oil and gas, those are many of the same things you would do to move in a cleaner direction as well. So there's a lot of overlap. Now we have the urgency of climate combined with the urgency of energy security, where politicians will really jump through hoops to make sure people can afford energy. Those are now powerful forces working together to move in a clean energy direction. The challenge is that Europe, to meet its energy needs, has been pulling all the LNG in the world into Europe. That's LNG supply that would have gone to Asia. As a result, Asia has to do something else, so they're buying coal. Coal prices are going through the roof. And one of the themes, I think, here this week at Davos has been that has caused energy prices to go up and really had ripple effects on emerging and developing economies. They're in a real global energy crisis. They can't afford Pakistan, Bangladesh, any energy at all, rolling blackouts and scarcity and rationing energy.
Can you expand on that a little bit? Because I think a lot of the commentary here has been very focused on the developed world's concerns, pains, worries, and maybe not so much about what this ultimately means for emerging lower and middle income countries.
Yeah, well, we've talked a lot this week here, as we should, about the risk of climate change, and parts of the emerging and developing economies in the global south are going to see the worst impacts, already seeing the worst impacts of climate change, as with the Pakistan environment minister yesterday, for example, devastating floods there. And these are countries that are using relatively little energy and need to use a lot more energy to see prosperity and to see growth in the future. So we need to make sure that we had 75 million people last year who lost access to energy. It was the first year we went backwards. We reversed a decade of progress. So we're in a global energy crisis, and I think there's a growing sense of resentment and hypocrisy among some of the leaders in the global south, where they're being told not to invest in hydrocarbon projects, and then as soon as there's a problem in Europe, Biden says, I'm going to promise to send you more LNG. So we need to make sure that we're developing those economies, making a lot more capital, a lot more finance available, both public and private, and doing it as much as possible in a way that grows clean energy, as Fatih and Greta said.
Yeah.